Untamed. Untamed.
All right, everybody, it's Farrell and
Amy.
And we are here with Shawn.
Shawn Paulsen.
I forgot Untamed TV. It's Untamed TV with Farrell.
And Amy.
And Shawn.
Still Shawn.
Still Shawn. We got to get you a fancy name.
The whole segment will be you messing up the beginning.
I know. So we're here with the author, Shawn Paulsen, which, Shawn, it seems kind of weird to think of you as an author, right?
Well, what would you think of him as?
More like a hitman for the mob or something, the way he's missing his
Yeah, you know, Secret Service, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be a bouncer.
Exactly.
But in your book is called Why Not Me? And you pretty much look like a bad ASS.
Well,
Like, you look like awesome on this book.
possibly a bad example of a
So what inspired you to write this book? What made you decide, you know what, I'm going to write a book?
Well, I've wanted to write a book for a long time. And 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, it was kind of shot to the top. Everybody has a bucket list, and it's like the cream rises to the top. And so with me, it was the dream that rose to the top.
I like that.
And so I wanted to write a book, and I started actually writing it before I knew what to do with it. And a publisher got a hold of me when I kind of solicited out, and they got a hold of me. I explained to them what I wanted, and I signed a contract that night. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
And the name Why Not Me? What was the reasoning behind that title?
Well, it started with in the blink of an eye. Because of the illness that I have, I lost my vision in 6 weeks. It took 6 weeks to go from 20/20 vision to a 90% vision loss. So it was a lot like watching the old black and white movies where the blob would just eat up everything, except for with me, it was just my vision. And so I wanted to name it In the Blink of an Eye. And as I was going through and as I was doing things, more and more people would come to me and they would say, you know, you're such a great guy. And well, those are people that didn't know me really well.
Right.
But
It wasn't me. I didn't say that.
But you know, or you know, all of this stuff, all of these things have happened to you in your life. You know, it's just not fair. It's not fair. Why you? And my only answer was, well, why not me?
Right.
I'm just as human as any person on this planet, and just as susceptible to any disease that's here. And so, why not me? Just kind of stuck. And so it made more sense to me. And then, of course, choosing to be positive in the face of adversity, because that's the whole thing. Is I have two choices. I can sit on a couch and just let this thing run my life.
Get body rot.
Yeah.
Bed
Or
sores.
I can continue to do what I do.
And inspire people along the way.
And hopefully that's the plan, yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So you say you're diseased because you don't look sick. You don't look like you have a disease. What exactly? I mean, I'd ask what it's called. I'm sure there's some big.
Well,
long
he does
medical
have a
name for it.
chapter called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde, that's actually about my father,
Oh,
to be
really?
honest, yeah.
So this is also memoirs.
It is, and it started as the whole In the Blink of an Eye was more about the disease, and then I thought to myself, you know, there's more to this and to my journey than just the disease, just my disorder, and so it kind of grew, and now, yeah, it's more of a memoir. It started from my childhood and all the things I did as a kid. There's a chapter called My Mom Never Believed I'd Live to Be Past 13. Because she would always tell me that you'll never live to be older than 13.
It's the longest name for a chapter I've ever heard.
Well, it's
and
just,
I kind of love it.
And then when I turned 14, she'd say you won't live past 14, and then 15, and when I turned 18, she says you're an adult. I don't care anymore. So,
My parents died when I was 14.
yeah, they didn't care anymore. They just kicked you out. So yeah, it became more of a memoir, but the disease was the original idea behind it. There is no formal diagnosis for what I have. I have an informal diagnosis because it's a DNA disorder. So it's in my DNA, it's in my genetic makeup.
Mm-hmm.
The closest that they can come to is what's called mitochondrial encephalomyopathy, lactic acidosis, and stroke symptoms.
God bless you.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yeah.
Gesundheit.
And if you know anything about medical terminology, the longer it is, the worse it is.
Oh, okay. Right.
So to give you an idea of some of the actual symptomology that I have, since you say I don't really look sick, and that's a whole nother issue too, because that bothers me when people say to me, all the time, well, you don't look disabled.
Oh, sorry about that.
And, well, no, you're asking a question and it's okay. But to me, my answer is, well, what is disabled supposed to look like?
Right.
And we all look different. We're all in different areas of our lives. And so, but to give you an idea, I suffer from stroke symptoms, and so I've had 2 what's called TIAs, which are transient ischemic attacks, which basically is a stroke. I've had 2 of those. I suffer from heart symptoms, so I have cardiomyopathy, which means I have a constant heart attack.
You're not gonna die right here, right now. I mean, please don't.
It's possible, but it won't be your fault. So
I'm having a panic attack just thinking about what
It'll
you
be
have to
great
go
TV.
through.
it would be awesome. You'd have your ratings would be awesome.
Wouldn't
Like,
it?
dude died right on our show. It was cool. just died. He was in mid-sentence.
Sorry, Amy has a big heart, and she feels
I
bad
guess
for me.
no, I'm empathetic, so I feel it. But
So
I
you
mean,
get that,
I mean,
yeah.
I can't imagine on top of the actual symptoms of what you have. Do you get anxiety because of
Yes.
them? Anticipating
The
things?
anxiety comes from a number of places too, because when I go to somewhere new, so like in my house, I just walk around. I'm fine. I'm used to it. I know where my furniture is. I know where the stairs are. But you take me to Walmart, I freak out.
Oh yeah. I
Because
imagine.
their aisles are constantly littered with stuff, and people are just everywhere. Nobody really cares that I have a big white stick and that I can't see them.
What can you see?
So
'Cause
what
I
I
feel like
can
you
see
can see me.
is like trying to describe what the color 7 tastes like.
Basically how my brain works.
Yeah. It's very difficult. So I can see movement. So when you move, I know you're there.
So scary.
Which is weird too, because when I see movement, I try and look at it and then it disappears. So I try not to look at it when there's movement so I can see what's there. I can see bright fluorescent orange and the bright fluorescent pink. I can't tell the difference in the 2, but I can see them. So my house and everything, they're all lined with orange tape. So I can find my way around. I can see stuff. But that's pretty much the extent of what I see.
So how did you write this? Did you audio?
Yes, voice to text. So I did a voice to text program, and that in and of itself is a nightmare. Because as we're going through it, after I wrote the original text and I handed it to the editor gave me a call, and she said, I'm just going to read you this sentence, exactly how it's worded, and I want you to tell me what you meant. And I went, okay. And she reads to me, Jesus eats pizza with the Eagles.
Yeah, that makes sense. Happens all the
I want to
time.
eat pizza with the Eagles.
Okay, Eagles are a great band, and maybe Jesus likes the Eagles. But I have no idea how it got in the manuscript. I really couldn't tell you. So I'm like, can you read the sentence before that and after that? She reads it, and I'm like, well, those both make perfect sense. I really don't know why Jesus is eating pizza with the Eagles.
Oh my gosh.
So it took me 3 months to write it, but it took 8 months of rewriting so that those were not in there. So those type of sentences weren't in there anymore.
So not only are you presented with this obstacle, and then you created something, it's even more difficult because now you have to go back and
And re-edit
recreate
it.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You would write a book. I lose interest in writing my name. By the time I get to the Y in my last name, I'm like, this sucks. Let's do something else. How do you buckle down and write a book?
Well, for me, writing is a way for me to release, to let go, to get rid of all of that. We talked about the anxiety and all the stuff that's in my mind. The easiest way for me to do it is to write. Now, I've been a comic and I've done hypnotism most of my life, so I write a lot. But I write in very jumbled, weird sentences because I'm a comic. So to sit down and do
Sense is
this, it was crazy because it was like a waterfall. It was like something that I needed to do. And I would sit down and start talking. And before I knew it, I was writing between like 4,000 to 10,000 words a day.
Oh, geez.
If there's one thing in this book that you want people to get out of it, what would it be?
Never give up. Live for the moment.
Right.
Live for every moment. Because all of those little moments, all of those little things, the fireworks on the 4th of July, your grandchildren's faces, sunsets, hummingbirds, butterflies, all of those things can just disappear. They're just gone in the blink of an eye. And so, the This smog has got my voice all screwed up.
Blame it on the smog.
It is. It's the smog.
Where can
So-
people buy this book?
It will be available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble,
Great.
both of them. It releases on February 10th.
Great.
And so you can order it online. You can do pre-sales now. If you go to my Facebook page on Shawn Paulsen, and there's several Shawn Paulsens, so it's the one that looks like this.
The good-looking Shawn Paulsen.
Well, no, but the one that looks like
Mr.
this.
Clean,
Yes.
Mr. Clean.
Exactly.
Sorry, I rubbed it for good luck.
It happens. You can. There's a direct link to the soft cover, the Kindle, and the hardcover, and you can go directly to Amazon and order the book right now.
Awesome. And do you have any like live performances, or are you plan on being anywhere
Yeah.
that we could see you out?
Yeah. You just mentioned Wise Guys, right?
Yes, I will be at Wise Guys on February 10th and 11th, the day of the book release. We're going to have a big party, basically. I'm going to do a show and release the book and do some signings and go from
We should
there
go.
on both nights, the
I'm
10th
gonna-
and the 11th.
I'm gonna go.
All right, cool.
Hey, Jinx.
Yeah.
I do have two questions for you though before we're done, and the one that sticks out to me the most is how do you do your shows still? I mean, you do hypnosis, you hypnotize people, don't
Oh,
you?
I want to be hypnotized.
Yes. Well, then come and
I
we'll do
will.
it. It'll be fun.
How do you do your shows? Because I've seen your shows before and they're great, but there's a lot of like
Interaction.
props and a
Yeah.
lot of props and a lot of stuff. How do you do that?
So the orange tape is my saving grace once again. We tape off the entire stage. We tape off all the chairs, and all of my contestants, the volunteers, wear orange bracelets, like going to a concert. And they put their little concert bracelet on. So that way I can follow them, and if I follow the orange stripes on stage, it's like Wally. Just don't leave the orange stripes, you don't fall off the stage.
Right.
And so that works. And I've had to hire a few extra assistants now that sit right in the front, and they actually watch for anything that could be detrimental
Right.
to them so that they can catch them or, that kind of stuff, do the interactive part of it.
Excellent.
So,
And I read through because you gave me some stuff to read and I actually really read it.
I'm surprised. I didn't think you knew that many words.
And they're I know a lot of words I shouldn't know.
I think you should keep reading it.
I probably should. There's a section here you're talking about because you used to work in law enforcement, so you knew you were a instructor for firearms instructor stuff like that, and that you go hunting still.
Yes.
You you can't see, but you're out shooting guns.
I know. Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
It scares a lot of people too, but believe it or not, we spent hours on the range teaching me how to reshoot, how to shoot again. And where I see movement, so like duck hunting, if I don't try and follow the duck, if I stare in one spot, I can actually kind of see it move.
Right.
And then I just have to anticipate when it's going to fly in front of me and shoot.
It's probably like good physical therapy for your.
It is really good. As far as deer hunting, I shot a deer last year.
I don't know about it.
Yeah, I know you don't like that. You don't like me now.
I love animals. No, I love you.
I love animals too. They taste awesome.
They do.
And I know
I don't need-
I'm being rude. I'm
I
sorry.
don't need to know how they go on the plate. No, I'm
But I did it because I needed to know I could.
right. Exactly.
I needed to know I could still live and do the things that I enjoy. And the crazy thing about hunting is I will go hunting even when I could see and never shoot because I just wanted to be out there.
Right.
I just wanted to be part of the nature and outdoors. And I wanted to know I could still do that I could go hike the mountain and that I could stalk the game and get what I needed. And it was a very difficult thing for me when I actually did shoot my deer. Believe it or not, I missed it the first time at 10 feet. It was standing 10 feet away from me.
Yeah, it's such a great story in that book.
So,
that I
yeah.
read, yeah.
And but yeah, it was one of those things that I needed so that I could be okay with
Yeah.
my life and say it is okay. I can still do these things. And to this day, I truly believe that deer sacrificed itself so that I could live.
I'm gonna cry. You are such an inspiration. I can't wait. We should all go out and see him live February
10th and 11th.
10th and 11th.
And his shows are super family friendly. They're not.
Find Shawn Paulsen on Facebook.
Yep.
And click the link. Buy this book. I'm halfway through it, and it is really just.
Oh, there's pictures.
There's pictures.
I can
there's
read that book.
everything. We don't want to give too much else away, but thank you so much for
Yeah, Shawn, thank you so much for coming.
finding
Thank you.
your
I
way
appreciate
here
it.
in this awful weather.
So,
awful.
Shawn Paulsen, why not me?
Why not me? Why not you? Go buy the book.